Meeting today.
Meeting of the Committee on Finance and Administrative Services is now called to order. Will the
I see.
Chief Advisor please call the roll?
Trustee Swanson.
Here.
Chair Massey.
Here.
Thank you.
Hello?
We can get everybody back to summer fun. In a moment, let's see. Oh goodness. In a moment, we will hear from CFO Rodriguez, who will be giving an update on the 2024 annual budget, which will include information on the strategic plan, budget priorities, cash position, and the preliminary 2024 budget. We will also review the board reports that will be considered during the July regular board meeting taking place this afternoon at 2 p.m. CFO Rodriguez, we welcome you to the podium for your remarks and the budget presentation.
Thank you, Trustee Williams. Good afternoon, trustees, Chair Massey, Vice Chair Swanson, officers of the districts. Welcome to the July 13, 2023 Finance and Administrative Services Committee. My presentation today will provide an overview of the proposed budget for FY24, which will be considered by our Board of Trustees at today's board meeting. First, I want to thank Deputy CFO Jeff Wong and the budget team who are present here today for their hard work in developing this year's budget. In addition, I want to recognize the collaborative effort with faculty and staff from all 7 colleges, as well as district office leadership over the course of several months that built this coming year's budget. I will cover CCC's strategic plan and budget priorities, as well as the tentative FY24 budget and an update on the district's cash position. The FY24 budget invests in our 5-year strategic framework and college strategic plans, which are guided by 6 key levers: an exceptional student experience, equity, economic responsiveness, excellence, collaboration, and institutional health. Within each lever, there are system-wide and college initiatives that aim to strengthen our institution and prepare us to better serve our students. The proposed FY24 budget is balanced. We are pleased to share that City Colleges is successfully recovering from the pandemic, with recent enrollment periods exceeding the community college average in Illinois and nationally. Despite the end of the federal emergency funds, City Colleges has committed to maintaining key investments, including strategic scholarship programs to improve access, including Future Ready and the STAR Scholarship, a comprehensive suite of student supports, and the Chicago Roadmap, along with other items presented on this slide. The FY24 budget also holds the credit hour rate of $146 level for the 8th straight year, recognizing the lingering economic strains of the pandemic on our students and their families. To balance the FY24 budget and continue recovery, City Colleges relies on tax into the city levy cap, tax increment financing surplus proceeds from the City of Chicago, continued historical levels of state tax collections, or PPRT, and expense management practices to achieve continued operational efficiency. I will now provide an overview of the FY24 preliminary budget, the capital plan, and the district's cash position. There is more information available in the tentative budget book that is available online on our finance website. The overall FY '24 budget totals $522 million and is comprised of the following: an operating budget of $350.5 million, a capital plan of $54.9 million, and the restricted resources totaling $116.2 million. I'll break down each of these components on the following slides. Total revenues are $350.5 million. This budget will be our first in 3 years without the Federal Emergency Relief Funds, or HERF, provided to help with the impacts of the pandemic. This resource gap will largely be closed by continued PPRT collections in excess of historical amounts and increases in enrollment, raising our tuition revenue. The Illinois Community College Board best practice recommends that a third of our revenue comes from each of the following sources: local revenue, tuition, and state funding. As you can see on this chart, we fall short on state funding at 29%, or $101.8 million, and on tuition at 22%, or $78.7 million. However, we make up for some of the shortfall in local revenue, which includes property taxes in the city TIF, at 43%, or $149 million. The rest of our revenue sources come from auxiliary enterprise funds such as child care funding at 3%, or $11.8 million. Other revenues such as investment income at 2%, or $6.9 million. The next view shows our expense summary by category. The biggest component of our budgeted expenses is salaries and benefits at 76%, or $268.2 million. The next biggest component is fixed charges, which includes debt service or bond repayments, as well as district-wide leases at 6%, or $19.6 million. These two components alone comprise 82% of our total expenses. The rest of the expense items are for contractual services, materials and supplies, and scholarship and waivers, and the proportions are all consistent with prior years. Our total capital plan for FY '24 is $54.9 million, which includes projects across all colleges. The plan is predominantly investments in technology enhancements and working through our backlog of our deferred maintenance projects. Other areas of focus include renovating biology labs, the expansion of our nursing program, and renovating the Westside Learning Center. Funding sources for these projects will be a combination of state funds and cash reserves. While we have received some state capital funds for critical deferred maintenance projects, many of the projects planned for FY '24 are subject to further assistance from the state. Okay. The next view is on the restricted resources, totaling $116.2 million. Over 59% is for direct student assistance, of which 48% is from federal financial aid and 11% is state MAP funding. And the remaining funds are from various federal, state, and local grants. This chart illustrates the district's operating cash balances since FY 2016. Our long-term financial outlook provides the plan to achieve stability in the district's cash position. In 2017, cash balances fell below our $70 million CCC policy of 90 days cash in hand. During this time, we relied on our cash reserves to fund our capital improvements due to the state budget impasse and lack of a capital bill for several years. Under Chancellor Salgado's leadership, we have stabilized our cash reserves primarily due to the sale of the district headquarters in FY '20 and expense management efficiencies. During fiscal years FY '21 through FY '23, the federal stimulus funds allowed us to preserve our cash reserves, and we are projecting continued healthy reserves in the foreseeable future. With that, this concludes my presentation of the FY '24 budget. I'm happy to answer any questions you may have. Okay. Thank you all for your time.
No, thank you very much.
We appreciate it.
Thank you, CFO Rodriguez. We will now review the items proposed for board action at the July 13th regular board meeting. Will the chief advisor please proceed with the review of board reports?
Thank you. Thank you, Trustee Williams. Presenter, please proceed one after the other, briefly pausing to give the trustees an opportunity to ask any questions they have about the item presented. We will begin with resolutions. CFO Rodriguez will review Resolution 1.00. CTO Dunning will review Resolution 1.01. Chief Advisor will review Resolution 1.02. And VC Anthony will review Resolutions 103 and 104. Please proceed.
Thank you. Resolution 1.00 is to adopt the City Colleges of Chicago annual budget for fiscal year ending on June 30th, 2024, which you were just briefed on. The resolution highlights our compliance with the Public Community College Act as follows. On June 12th, the FY24 tentative budget book was made available for public inspection on the CCC website. On June 14th, we gave notice of the budget public hearing in the Chicago Sun-Times. And on July 6th, we held a public hearing. Thank you.
Resolution 1.01 is a request to authorize a salary increase of 3% effective July 3rd, 2023 to all non-bargain for employees that were active in a full or part-time administrator or non-bargain for job family prior to January 1st, 2023, have not received an increase in compensation since April 1st, 2023, and are in active status at the time when the increases are administered.
Thank you. Resolution 1.02 recognizes Karen Kent. Karen Kent's service as a trustee on the City of Chicago's Board of Trustees since August 1, 2015. Whereas Karen Kent has served on the City of Chicago since August 1, 2015. Whereas during her time as a trustee, including trustees. Whereas Kent demonstrated wisdom and initiative, which inspired her fellow trustees. Whereas Karen Kent provided exceptional leadership during the COVID-19 pandemic, which helped the City Colleges of Chicago thrive during a once-in-a-lifetime challenge. Whereas her service as a trustee, the City Colleges of Chicago implemented significant initiatives, including the introduction of the Center of Excellence, the STAR Scholarship, increased opportunities for dual credit and dual enrollment classes, high school equivalency programs, adult education, and continuing education classes, as well as completion of major capital projects, including the new Malcolm X College, the Manufacturing Technology Engineering Center at Richard J. Daley College, and the Transportation Logistics Center at Olive Harvey College. Whereas Karen Kent dedicated countless hours at 7 city colleges and 5 satellite locations, with faculty, students, staff, and administrators. And whereas Karen Kent tirelessly advocated for the City of Chicago across the state of Illinois, now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of Community College District Number 508, County of Cook, and State of Illinois assembles this 13th day of July 2023, and along with the Chancellor and the City College of Chicago community, hereby formally commends and recognize the contributions of Karen Kent and her unwavering commitment to the goals and mission of the City Colleges of Chicago, along with her years of service to the citizens of the City of Chicago, and extends its deep and abiding appreciation to Karen Kent. And be it further resolved that this resolution will be presented to Karen Kent as a symbol of the board's honor, thanks, and respect.
Resolution 1.03 requests the board's authority to amend an intergovernmental agreement and facilities use license with the City of Chicago's Office of Emergency Management and Communications for use of certain portions of Wright College as a temporary respite center. Pursuant to Board Report 34803, the district entered an agreement with OEMC for the period of May 26, 2023 through August 1, 2023. This amendment would extend the term for 2 days to allow OEMC additional time to complete relocation of residents. The amended term of the agreement will be from May 26, 2023 and ending on August 3rd, 2023. And Resolution 1.04 also requests the board's authority to amend an intergovernmental agreement and facilities use license with OEMC for use of certain portions of Daly College, primarily the gym and locker rooms, as a temporary respite center. Pursuant to Board Report 34806, the district entered an agreement with OEMC for the period of June 1, 2023 through August 1, 2023. This amendment would extend the term for 10 days to allow OEMC additional time to complete relocations of residents. The amended term of the agreement would be from June 1, 2023 and ending on August 11, 2023.
Thank you. CTO Dunning, please review item 2.00, the personnel report.
Board item 2.0 is a request to approve the July 2023 personnel report. There are 100 actions on this month's report. They include 21 new and rehires, 63 promotions, title and salary changes, and 16 separations and retirements. This concludes the July report.
Thank you. Cesar Herrero, please review item 3.00, the resource development report.
Thank you. The July Resource Development Report includes 12 grants funded and awarded totaling $2,166,816 and 28 grant applications submitted totaling $17,204,141. Included in the list of awarded grants is a grant from the Urban Institute for their Data to Action campaign for parenting students. The goal of the campaign is to develop effective data practices to inform support, programming, and external partnerships on behalf of parenting students across all 7 colleges. In addition to receiving $100,000 for related expenses, we will be part of a learning community of colleges across the country that will receive technical support and cross-college learning opportunities from the Urban Institute. We are also pleased to receive $300,000 from the Department of Health and Human Services to support campus suicide prevention and to enhance mental health services for all students across all colleges. And finally, a third grant I'd like to highlight is a grant from the Sprague Memorial Institute for $173,000 to support our Chicago Welcome Back Center nurse training program. This grant will support Daly College's Welcome Back Center at AVI to help internationally educated and licensed nurses through the credential and licensing process to be able to work as a nurse or a health professional in Illinois. This concludes the July Resource Development Report. Thank you.
Thank you. We will move on to agreements, which will proceed as follows. Interim CIO Jakara will review agreements 4.00 and 4.01. CTO Dunning will review agreement 4.02. Provost Potter will review agreements 4.03 and 4.04. Finally, VC Anthony will review agreements 4.05 through 4.08.
Good afternoon. Item 4.00 requests the board authority to renew the agreement with Zogo Technologies for the additional 2 years of our current data warehousing and business intelligence platform solution. The initial term of this agreement began on January 1st, 2021, ending on July 31st of 2023. And the renewal period of this agreement begins on August 1st, 2023, and ends on July 31st of 2025. The cost for 2 years is $461,736. With the data warehouse and business intelligence platform, CCC can unify, analyze, and visualize information, and leading to informed decision-making, cost reduction, program opportunities, streamlined processes, increased enrollment, and improved resource allocation for student education.
I do have a question here. The ownership information shows Well, this company is a certified minority supplier from the National Minority Supplier Development Council. Did we review that ownership? I'm seeing this table here, and I looked at the website. So Michael Taft, who owns 46%, doesn't qualify, and then two other partners come to 49%. Did we make an independent confirmation of this company's minority ownership status?
I'm sorry, good afternoon. I will need to follow up further on that. I would need to follow up further on that.
Okay. Can we table this until we find that out?
Is this going to impact something?
Impacts our current, because it's our current solution that is expiring end of this month.
Okay. It will impact, it's going to impact the solution that's expiring at the end of the month. So if I can just have an opportunity to look at it maybe now and figure out what's going on with it, I will do that and try to get back before the end of board.
Trustee, we can, separate it so we can deal with it as a separate matter.
Sure.
At the 2 o'clock meeting and see what we can do in terms of due diligence between now and then.
Perfect.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Item 401 requests the board's authority to amend the existing agreement with the listed 17 vendors for technical staff augmentation services from July 2019 through June 30th of 2024 for an additional $2,484,000 in authority at a total cost not to exceed $15,484,000 for the contract term versus the initial $13 million. The June resolution from last month, 1.15, ratified the increased rate and additional charges for the current contract. However, OIT has exhausted the existing board authority of $13 million with the payment of April 2023 invoices. So this amendment allows paying the vendors for their continuing work on critical production systems and ongoing and upcoming projects through December of 2023. By which time the new RFP for the staff augmentation services is expected to be issued, process completed, and contracts executed.
So this 2.5 million is incremental. It's to 2.5 million incremental, getting to the 15.5 million. Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, CTO Dunning.
Sorry. Agreement 4.02 requests the board's approval on an agreement with LinkedIn for various recruiter capabilities to advertise vacancies and recruit prospective applicants. The request is for a term beginning July 28, 2023 and continuing for 1 year thereafter at a cost not to exceed $49,320. City Colleges has recommended a waiver of MBE-WBE compliance due to the nature of the services of online job posting.
Agreement 4.03 is with the Chicago Transit Authority for participation in the UPass program. This agreement will authorize participation in the program beginning in fall of 2023 through the end of summer 2028 term. The terms offered by the CTA will now provide City Colleges the flexibility to offer discounted UPass transit fare cards to students enrolled in 6 or more credit hours, whereas previously we offered the passes to students enrolled in 9 or more credit hours. The CTA is continuing its flexible enrollment policy by which City Colleges can order and pay for only the number of passes needed for students who meet the enrollment eligibility and who opt for the pass. City Colleges will cover half the cost of each UPass, and interested qualifying students will be asked to pay $70 toward the total cost of their pass. For financial aid students receiving full Pell Awards, those awards will cover the student portion of the UPass. Any other student who has a financial hardship that would be a barrier to securing the pass may receive assistance from city colleges. The agreement with CTA is for 5 years at an amount not to exceed $6,500,000. Agreement 4.04 is a one-year renewal with Parchment LLC to provide college credential services that include degrees, certificates, and other awarded credentials. The service provided by Parchment will allow students one hard copy of each credential earned and one secure digital version. Students can request and pay for reprints, and past students can obtain historical credentials. Parchment was selected in 2020 following an RFP. This will be the first of 5 optional one-year renewals, and this renewal will run through June 30th, 2024 at a total cost not to exceed $87,000.
Agreement 4.05 requests the board's authority to execute an agreement with Primera Engineers to provide architectural and engineering services for the renovation of the Dawson Technical Institute parking lot for the period commencing no sooner than July 13, 2023 through July 12, 2026 at a total cost not to exceed $329,825. Work shall include evaluation of the parking lot and its stormwater management system, schematic design, construction drawings and specifications, permitting and bidding, and construction administration. Agreement 4.06 requests the board's authority to enter an agreement with Forward Space LLC for the purchase and installation of furniture for the Basic Nursing Assistant Program at Kennedy King College main campus, as well as for a new office suite at Dawson Technical Institute. The agreement shall commence no sooner than July 13, 2023 and end on February 18, 2024, with a total cost not to exceed $226,061.40. The furnishings will complete the renovation of space for the BNA program at Kennedy King, and the creation of the new office suite at Dawson will allow the relocation of staff to create that space for BNA at the Kennedy King main campus. Agreement 4.07 requests the board's authority to renew agreements with Jones Lang LaSalle Americas Incorporated, CBRE Incorporated, Cushman & Wakefield US Incorporated, and Transwestern to provide real estate brokerage and consulting services for the period of August 1, 2023 through July 31, 2024 on an as-needed basis. Realtor compensation shall not exceed 5% of any property sale price, and for any consulting services outside of a property sale, total cost shall not exceed $100,000. Agreement 4.08 requests the board's authority to enter a depends upon requirements agreement with ABC Humane Wildlife and Control, doing business as Landmark Pest Management, to provide integrated pest management services district-wide for the period of September 1, 2023 through February 29, 2024, at a total cost not to exceed $300,000.
Thank you. We'll move on to purchases. VC Anthony, please review purchases 5.00 and 5.01.
Purchase 5.00 requests the board's authority for the monthly job order contractor construction projects to be performed by the listed contractors. Board Report 34571 authorized the utilization of JOC as a construction delivery method to perform renovation services, deferred maintenance, and repairs. This month's report lists 10 projects for a total cost not to exceed $710,442.98. Purchase 5.01 requests the board's authority for the issuance of purchase orders to the pool of 7 firms for the purchase of janitorial supplies for the period of July 14, 2023 through July 13, 2026 at a total combined cost not to exceed $2,750,000. 7 firms are Aztec Supply Corporation, Bella Bagno, Equity Industrial Supply, Intercity Supply Company, Genesis Building Services, LaPorte Incorporated, and Valdez LLC. These vendors were selected for award based on the 3 lowest responsive bidders per product category.
Thank you. General Counsel Goen, please review item 6.0, the payment of legal invoices.
Item 6.00 requests approval of legal fees totaling $606,201.56. Such fees cover litigation, employment, labor, corporate, and higher education matters.
Thank you. Trustee Williams, pending no further questions, that concludes the review of the board report. Agreement 4.0 will be tabled until the regular board meeting. The consent agenda will consist of everything excluding Agreement 4.0.
Thank you very much. May I have a motion to discharge the July 13, 2023 board packet, inclusive of the resolutions, personnel items, resource development report, agreements, purchases, and legal invoices included on today's committee agenda with Resolution 4.0 being treated separately as a part of the consent agenda to the July 13th regular board meeting.
So moved.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, motion carries. Thank you all. Since there is no further business to come before this committee today, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. We are adjourned. Thank you.
Thanks.